Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood as we continue this Little Creatures month, talking some slimy, furry, red-eye creatures coming from the outside space to terrorize the Earth and to terrorize a small local country town and give them, I guess, break into their food banks and shit like that. Because we are doing the entire, the entire Critters series. We're doing the 4 movies. There's some other shit that they got going on there too, but we ain't doing any of that. All right, they got like a web series and all that. We ain't doing that. We're just doing the 1980s and the 1990s Critters stuff.
Yeah, this is new for us. We're doing a 90s movie.
And
this is
up next, if y'all like 1980s/1990s Goosebumps cartoon shows that you would rent from J.H. Alison's Rent-A-Center just because it's PG-13 and you could get away with it, only to see the fantastic titties that are in this movie, which I will talk about soon. If y'all like having a small country town taken over by little creatures who only want to go to the buffet, if y'all like Terrence Mann showing up again and barely doing anything, but at least he has cool hair, and if y'all like a grown-up Bradley Brown who has found the love of his life only in the second movie, then brother, this is the review for you, because we are talking all about Creatures 2, the main course. J.H. Alison, James Kline. What's up, Alison? Are you main coursing over
man? Yeah, main coursing, man. I like this movie way better than I thought I was going to. I will say that.
I liked it.
I mean, it's not a classic by any means, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. This movie is way more Gremlins-like, though.
Yes,
there's a lot of scenes that are very Gremlins-like in this. So, I was surprised when I read about some of the people who worked on it. And I'm sure we're going to talk about that and what they've done since. But that was kind of shocking. That was the most shocking thing about this.
That was shocking, and apparently we'll talk about that when it comes to who booked the shit. Because there's it's shocking, but it's cool at the same time of how he embraces it. But we'll talk about that. First off the bat, all right. No, everybody, we did not plan to wear the Fulci shirts. We just are watching it. By the way, great death metal band, Italian death metal band that we've seen together in concert many times.
Yes,
great.
Fulci's fantastic.
Hopefully they'll come around this year again. That'd be awesome.
I'm hoping they do, yeah, because they're fucking awesome.
To be honest with you, I think they could do a main show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They can at least go to the underground and probably sell it out, or even Greensboro. They could definitely go to Greensboro and sell it out.
Like they could definitely do well in Greensboro.
I think they're a band right now that could probably get their own headlining tour, because they're pretty popular. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they were doing really well on that Cannibal Corpse tour that they just did like a month ago.
Yeah, because they were the first band, and that place is already like fucking packed up, sold out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're fucking hanging from the rafters, brother. All right.
And they were pretty popular when we saw them with the Morbid Angel, the other Morbid Angel, I Am Morbid.
Yeah, in Atlanta. They were the most popular band with a merch table. I was surprised.
Well, they have the coolest merch.
They do.
Yeah.
But I was surprised for that show is because I didn't think they were a well-known band at that time. And then we went to that show. I was like, oh, shit, a lot of people know these people. You know what I mean? So
more than I thought. Yeah. I thought we were going to be the only people who knew who they were.
Yeah. Second thing is I'm drinking. Everybody likes it when I'm drinking on the show.
Yeah.
A little more animated. Tea. Bro, I'm having this okay, so December was crazy. We didn't get as much beer reviews as we wanted to. It just that month was just fucking crazy for me and everybody. But I was going by my favorite gas station over here in the North Carolina area. All right. And one of my favorite brewers, we talk about them all the time. I talked about their gingerbread stout beer on the on the podcast before. Deep River. So they have a peanut butter with the chance of fluff on it. It's a peanut butter fucking porter beer, brother. Say that 10 times fast.
I don't know about that.
Bro, it's actually it's a brown ale, my bad. It's a brown ale brewed with peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. Is that kind of like the stuff, I guess?
It's like kind of like the stuff, yeah. The stuff is more yogurty, but
true.
But fluff is stuff like, I would say.
By the way,
like the stuff. We did a show on the stuff.
We did a show on the stuff before the video. Everybody check it out in the archives. Hopefully it's still up. They are, taking some down, putting some up. But you can find all the episodes on Podbean if y'all want to go there from our audio listeners on here. And quick thoughts on the movie. So, okay, this is for the older crowd. All right. Like the 80s and 90s kids. So back in the day, brother, we couldn't just go on our phone and find a bunch of porn. You know what I mean?
No.
So we had to be very creative when you're a kid. All right? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why I love this movie. Okay? If I would have found about this Easter movie, okay? Mm-hmm. Don't tell me it's not an Easter movie, because it is. All right, we'll talk about that soon, too. So this movie is PG-13, which when you're like a young kid and stuff, you're like, oh shit, I could get the PG-13 movies. You know what I mean? I can bring it up, and my parents will rent me my PG-13 movies. You know what I mean? Like the R's might be a little tough, but the PG-13 movies, you're all good to go. You know what I mean?
You're good to go on that,
bro. Absolutely. I could not. So this movie is PG-13, and I could not believe we got some great titties in this fucking movie, brother. Are you telling me a young J.H. Alison alum James Kline wouldn't have paused that video a couple times over, took little still shots, brother? Come on.
Absolutely. Now. But that's what I'm saying, though. It's like that was at a PG-13 movie.
I could not believe it.
80s.
I could not believe it.
And like now, people would lose their fucking minds if something like that was not in a rated R movie. People would lose their fucking shit.
Bro, we see like these PG-13 horror movies now, and my God, they're fucking kiddie and horrible.
Yeah, they're like made for children or something.
This one was kiddie. Don't get me wrong. All right, this is very this is not as good as the first one. It is very cheesy. It has a lot of gags in it, but once I saw that scene, I was like, oh shit, okay, here we go. All right, I was like, I could dig it. So we gotta add some in for the older crowd, for they can come in, So, but
for
the dads coming in there, brother. You know what I mean? So, but let's get on into it. Let's get into the history segment of what was going on in the world of the pro wrestling and the metal music around the release date of Critters 2, brother.
Yeah, yep.
All right, main course. What was the main course, by the way? Was it the hamburgers or was it the humans? Because they seem like they like the hamburgers more than the humans.
They did. I'm assuming that they mean the humans, but the hamburgers seemed like they were more interested in that. That big buffet scene was amazing.
Yeah, I know. So this movie came out April 29th of 1988. So we're
2 days after my birthday.
Oh shit! There you go. Were you in line to see Critters 2 in the theater?
No, I saw this on VHS.
Okay. So you really did rent it on VHS.
I definitely saw Critters 1 on VHS, and I'm pretty sure I saw this on VHS too, but I'm not 100% sure. But some of it looks really familiar. Yeah. So I'm thinking, because I think last week I said I'd never seen any of the other Critters movies, but I believe I have.
Well, which part looked familiar?
I have seen this one. The parts at the end where they're all out and the critters are like rolling across the field. Yeah. That part. I seem to remember that part.
I got you. I know what I would have remembered.
I know.
Just one.
the boobs.
Yeah. Just one scene, brother. That's it. That's all I remember now, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about her, though. What happened to her, though, was tragic, man. I could not believe it. I was like, damn it, man. It's always the hot ones. But we'll get to it, though. So I'll talk about mine, because mine is just very quick. I can't wait to. Okay, so full disclosure over here. One of the reasons we are doing some '90s movies now is not just because we kind of want to freshen things up a little bit, But it's also we also want to freshen up the history segment because we've been talking about 80s wrestling and metal to death. You know what I mean? And a lot of time, there's a lot more movies out there than there was like events and albums. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
We'll still be doing mainly 80s movies and stuff, but we want to add some 90s in to kind of like spice it up a little bit.
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait till we get some of the 90s stuff this month. That's be fun. But this one right here has to be, Allison, the boringest WWF house show I have ever heard about. I mean, this is 1988. We got fucking, Macho Man, Warrior. You know what I mean? We got fucking. This is supposed to be a hot. We got what? We got Bret Hart. We got the Bulldogs. We got the Shawn Michaels is here. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Bro. Okay, first of all, we start off with Outback. Okay, so let me start over. So this took place in a market that they're familiar with, New York City. Well, not New York, sorry. New York. I'm getting ahead of myself. It was this place in New York I never heard about you before. Utah, New York. I never heard of her.
Is it Utica?
Yeah.
I think that's Utica is how it's pronounced.
Utica?
I'm not really sure.
So it says Utica is the city in the county seat of, I don't know, Ondawa County, New York. I never heard about any of this.
I don't know anything about upstate New York.
Yeah. So it was a house show. Okay, happened on the date that this movie came out, Critters 2. All right. Mm-hmm. One of our first matches. Outback Jack, Allison's favorite, defeated Conquistador Dos. Oh, okay. Just take my fucking money.
I guess they couldn't bring Conquistador Uno in, only Dos.
Yeah, well, he's doing the job, brother, so we can't job them both out. All right.
That's true.
Then we have Jim Neidhart. Okay. I guess he's doing his solo run right now. Defeated SD Jones.
Ooh, right. Wow. Okay. That would have been decent.
Burner.
That would have been fine to see. Like if I was at that show and Neidhart came out, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of cool. This is getting better. So we're on the up.
This match is the best match on the card, in my opinion.
Oh my god. Okay.
And it's like the third from the top.
Okay.
The Junkyard Dog.
Nice.
Who was a huge star in Mid-South, earlier 80s.
Yeah.
But right now his run is kind of like a little tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He defeated a Retro Blood legend, Ron Bass.
I was going to say Ron Bass is back.
By disqualification. Nice match, though.
So I was going to say now, for most people, that's probably not going to be a 5-star match, but I would love to see that.
Yeah, to us it would be
JYD versus Ron Bass would be great. That'd be awesome.
Even though it wouldn't have been like if that match happened in like 1983. Mm-hmm. I mean, they probably would have been like fucking headlining the show.
Yeah,
but in 1988, since they're beat up a little bit, Ron Bass probably has a beer gut out there and shit like that. I can see it being a little rough, but it'd still be fun to see those two guys go at it.
Yeah, and JYD probably wouldn't be in WWE much longer, would he? He would probably be gone the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think he leaves around 89 or 90. Something around there.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
We have Sam Houston, the next match, defeated Danny Davis. Okay, take my money. We have Velvet McIntyre. I don't think there's no relation to Drew McIntyre.
No, probably
defeated Judy Martin, so we get our women's match on this house show. And the co-main event, the Young Stallions, Paul Roma and Jim Powers, defeated Nikolai Volkov and Boris Zolkov. All right.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I guess they wanted the faces to win that, right?
I guess. I mean, I can see that match being okay, I guess. A little.
I guess. I mean, that's a very disappointing main event. That's a very disappointing main event. And what was... Yeah, no, go ahead.
Well, in the main event.
Oh, okay. We got one more match. Okay, cool.
Probably if I would have watched this live and you would have watched this live and the world would have seen this match, I guarantee you this would have been the slowest wrestling match known to man.
All right.
Because we have 1988 Andre the Giant, who can barely fucking move at this time, versus Jim Duggan.
Ooh.
And you know how the match ended? And this is why I know it's going to be the slowest match in history. Guess how this match ended? Count out. That's why.
Yes, of course.
I mean, if you want to see a match where big guys do absolutely nothing, then this is the match for you. I guarantee you.
Was it a double count out?
This says by count. No, Andre defeated Jim Duggan by count out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he probably slapped him outside, gave him the old gave him the office brother outside. Yeah. And he went back into the ring, probably slow. So that's the. I mean, that has to be like the boringest card that we've ever done on here. One of the boringest.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, I guess anytime you're going to see Andre live, that's something. Yeah, but yeah, that's a pretty bad show. So. What was Did it say what the capacity was for that? Like how many people were there?
Let's see what it says in here. Nope, it doesn't say that. It didn't say how much they drew.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's not at the gym. It's at the Memorial Auditorium. So I would have guessed around maybe 5,000-6,000, maybe. I don't know.
Nah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Man. So. But also, what do you got for us when it comes to the metal music? Are we gonna be rocking out?
You know,
there's no song in this
movie. Will. You probably there's a song in this. Yeah, you probably will. But I brought this up because the proximity of when it was released, and we've never talked about this before. But so on April 27th, 1988, which was my birthday, the glam metal band Poison released their second album.
Yes.
Open Up and Say Ah.
Yes. Feed My
and
Veins,
I know this is like their famous album, right? This is the one that has all their hits on it.
Yes.
This is the album that made them big. I'm sure this is the album that you've heard most of the songs off of. I don't like this band at all. I've never liked Poison. I just don't.
What?
They just seem like a really cheap version of like all the other hair metal that we talk about.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It's just kind of weak to me, but I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. But it does have like every song on this is real super catchy and people love this shit. I remember when this came out. People love this shit. But it's got Nothing But a Good Time, which that's a good time. I'll admit. Yeah, Nothing But a Good Time is a good song. It's got Fallen Angel, and of course it has the instant Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Mm-hmm. Just like Every Day Has Its Dawn, or whatever, however it goes. It's not a big fan, but I do remember when I and I actually tried to find this for the podcast, but I can't find it. But I remember I won this on cassette from a radio station contest.
What? You won this album?
Yeah, on cassette.
Wow.
From a radio station contest.
The album cover is cool, at least.
The album cover is great, and it's kind of controversial because when it came out, the album cover was banned. I don't know if you are aware of that, but after the early pressings, they redid because it has like that demon girl on it with the long tongue.
Yeah.
And when they pressed it the second time, they changed it to where it's a close up of her face, but everything but her eyes is blacked out, and it just says Poison, open up and say ah over the black lines.
Interesting.
So it's got two different. So it has a censored cover, but the original cover is really cool. I see it. If I could find an original cover, like a vinyl version of the original cover, I'd probably buy it, like a first pressing of it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't too expensive, just to have that in my collection. But not a huge fan of Poison. I actually think their next album was way better than this. The one with Unskinny Bop and all that stuff on it, I feel like is a much better album. And their first album, I think, is better than this too.
Yeah.
But this is their big album. This is the one that has all their hits on it.
Other radio hits. Are like
the radio hits, yeah, they're radio hits. And after this, they would kind of, kind of drastically go downhill.
It was the time.
It was the time.
When did hair metal usually fall out? Was it 91, 92?
91. No, it was 91.
91?
Pretty much. Well, yeah, I mean, it was almost overnight because I remember this specifically. Like, it was like hair metal, and then as soon as like Nirvana got big, it was over. Like, it was immediately over. It was not like It was drastic. It was not like, okay, well, these bands are starting to fall out of popularity. It was like 88, 89, 90, the hair metal bands were on top for the most part. Bands that had 2 or 3 albums were doing arena headlining tours. And then after Nevermind came out, it was just over. Like it was just nobody cared about that shit at all.
Yeah.
It's crazy how drastic it was. People were so ready for something new and they got it. But yeah, I mean, it's worth talking about. I mean, it's definitely a part of 80s metal history. I mean, they're definitely not nobodies.
Yeah.
So they were very successful and they were very popular for their time. And they would, CC DeVille would leave the band and then they would just nosedive after that. They got a new guitar player named Richie Kotzen, who's a great guitarist, but definitely was not, for its time, it was just definitely not what people wanted to hear. And then they kind of went downhill after that. But open up and say, if you like that kind of thing, it's kind of thing those people like, I guess. If you like that, then listen to it. That's great. Not my cup of tea, so to speak, but it is worth talking about.
Well, we'll play a song at the end of the show for everybody on the podcast, not the YouTube. They'll fucking they'll ban us again. They'll ban us all kinds of shit on there. But we have a lot of open up and say on this movie, especially with the critters.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure our boy Bradley
perfectly.
Bradley was waiting to open up and say too when it comes to his squeeze. Yeah. So
absolutely.
But everybody, let's get into it. Let's get into who booked this shit, which is very interesting.
Yes, I was shocked.
I was kind of shocked too, but like, I mean, you got to make your start from somewhere. Okay, so what we're talking about is true. This film was the director's debut for one Mick Garris. Okay.
Yes.
So people who don't know, Mick Garris is a screenwriter, a novelist. Okay, and he's known for doing a lot of like horror films, and also too knows for doing a lot of horror TV shows. Okay. Mm-hmm. I believe his biggest TV show he did was that Amazing Stories was kind of like his big hit when it comes to like this TV show. And Amazing Stories, I believe it was like a television series that was created by Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
All right.
I remember when that show was on.
I don't remember that show at all. This is like when I was doing my research, this is what I figured out. I had no idea Steven even had like a TV show at all. All right. And I guess it's supposed to be like a science fiction comedy drama, something like that. So
it was different. It was like, hold on, I got a cough.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. It was like an anthology show. So like every episode was different. Every episode was about something different. So like some episodes would be horror and some would be comedy and some would be like science fiction. And, I remember like the first episode is really good because Steven Spielberg directed it and wrote it himself.
Yeah.
It's really good. And Mick Garris wrote quite a bit but he directed quite a bit of them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where he got his work. In the first season, Steven Spielberg directed a couple of different ones, which is kind of cool. But it was okay. I mean, it was like a lot of those horror TV shows in the 80s. It was okay. Yeah. I mean, it was not American Horror Story. It was not like that at all. Yeah, but it's like an anthology, and it was kind of interesting. Yeah. But he also went on to direct episodes of Freddy's Nightmares.
Yeah, Freddy's Nightmares. That's the one.
And he directed the Shining remake, the TV version of that.
Yes, which is interesting. Tales from the Crypt. He did a couple of
Tales from the Crypt. Yeah.
I think so he has a little bit of acting roles, and apparently he was actually in the first Howling, which I thought was interesting.
And a cameo, he was in a cameo in that.
He was a TV guy or something.
Yeah, he's done a lot of cameos in different.
He was in Michael Jackson's Thriller. He was a zombie.
As a zombie, weird. Yes.
Yeah. And in this movie, he did the Critter's voice because he couldn't hire a certain actor that he wanted to.
Okay.
All right. Like, he wanted to have Frank Welker.
Frank Welker, yeah.
Do the voice, but he couldn't afford him, basically.
Yeah, Frank Welker is a huge name in animation.
Yeah.
You have heard Frank Welker's voice many times. He's even more famous than Carl Booth, or what, the guy that did the critter voices in the first movie. But you've definitely heard Frank Welker's voice many times. He plays Fred in Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
He does a lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I can't. That's what I can think of. That's the big role I can think of right now, is that he played Fred in Scooby Doo.
So also Frank,
name.
Like I said, this is his film director debut. He's usually known for a writer, and apparently he did the story for a movie called Batteries Not Included that we'll be definitely doing on this show.
Batteries Not Included is an awesome movie.
Yeah. He also did some writing on The Fly 2, which we have done on the show before in the archives.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
And he would go on to do a couple other movies like Michael Jackson's Ghost, Roddy and the Bullet, Nightmare Cinema. Well, Nightmare Cinema, he apparently directed and wrote and did everything on that one. So, but he was tasked with this project of doing this this Critter number
sequel.
2 movies.
Yeah.
And the way that came happening was basically this. All right, so Mick Garris, was going to write and direct The Fly 2 and wrote multiple drafts of the film. But after losing patience with the production, Garris left and joined Critters 2 due to liking the script and New Line Cinema offering him creative input. All right.
Okay.
So the first director of Critters, he they approached him to do the movie, but he's all like, I don't want to do that shit, basically. Like, he was just like, he did not realize when he was directing that Critters movie that it was going to be such the success that it was, basically.
Okay.
So he was just like, I mean, like, I don't really have any ideas. I don't have the patience. I really don't want to be locked into this one, so I don't want to do it. So that's when New Line Cinema, obviously, this is like one of their hits now. That's not Freddy Krueger. So obviously, when it makes some more money, and what do? If something's hot the first time, you got to beat it to death, all right, and get more sequels out of it. So that's why they wanted to make this one, and that's when they picked good old Mick over here.
So basically, what you're saying is it's kind of like what they would always tell all the actors and actresses in those early 80s horror movies, where there's like, nobody's ever going to see this.
Nobody's ever going to see this.
And then and nobody's ever going to see for this movie Friday the 13th. And it'll never be seen again. So you don't have to worry about it living on in posterity forever.
Well, my guess,
but little did they know.
My guess, and I'm pretty sure that we hinted on this last week too. Obviously the first one was so like, it was looked at like a Gremlins copy. All right. And it basically was. Yes. I mean, that's probably where, even though it wasn't written when the Gremlins came out, it definitely was inspired by that genre of style. Okay. Mm-hmm. But apparently I guess when they were releasing it, or they're writing and stuff, they wanted to make a pretty successful film, but they didn't realize how successful it was going to be. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely.
Like
it was a shock.
They probably thought it was gonna have like a good old niche audience, but then it ended up not. It ended up being a pretty good success for the film company. And obviously, when something's a success for the film company, we got to make more of it. All right.
Yeah. So
it says here, Garris got the chance to direct and having worked with Steven Spielberg on the television series Amazing Story. So that's why New Line Cinema wanted to get this guy, because not only has he did a great job on that show, Amazing Stories, but also too, he worked with Steven Spielberg. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You got you some clout there, brother. Because obviously,
I was about to say, that says a lot for you.
Obviously, in Steven Spielberg around here this time, he is like hot, director dude, especially coming out that success of E.T. and shit.
Yeah, that E.T. shit. Yeah, that really sent him to the moon there.
Exactly.
Strapped the rocket to him.
Exactly. So Garris initially turned down the offer to direct, but later accepted it, citing that he was a big fan of the first movie and wanted to make the sequel more scarier film than the first. Well, that didn't really work out.
No, that didn't really work out.
The Chodo brothers, who served as special effect artists of the first film, returned to create the creatures, creating over 50 puppets for the film.
So they had more money. So they made more than 6.
Yes, exactly. The film was shot in Valence, Santa Clara, and a part of the Los Angeles metropolitan area. Actually, though, I think in that interview with the first director, let me get his name on here. I think he was saying that, Stephen Herrick. I think he was saying also too that the studio wanted him to make the sequel, but they gave him the same budget. So unless they upped the budget from the first movie, let me see if it says it on my notes here. So the first movie had a budget of $3 million. All right. And obviously it went to make around $13 million. So obviously, making that one high.
I made money. Yeah.
And let me see they give us a budget for the second one. Then we can kind of diagnose this a little bit. So Creatures 2 had a... Okay. It was roughly around the same budget. It says on here that they got $4 million. So they got $1 more million than the first movie did. Okay.
That's why they could afford 50 puppets now.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, it's probably going to be a wash. Like, there's really not going to be a whole big difference between 3 and 4 million. I mean, maybe you can get a couple extra shots, maybe add on some stuff. But
yeah, true.
The problem with this movie, though, is it only made $3.8 million at the box office, brother.
Yeah, it didn't do as well.
Didn't do good at all. So this would be the last Critters movie that would be released theatrically. That means
everything else was straight to video.
That means next week our boy Leonardo DiCaprio, his first movie was straight to video, brother. Unlike Johnny Depp. All right.
Yep, Johnny Depp's first movie was Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Exactly. Boy, what a vast... I can't wait to I never seen Critters 3, so we're going to be doing that next week. And I want to... the vast difference of the performance is going to be crazy because those are two of the most prominent actors in Hollywood for a long-ass time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And then the first movie I remember DiCaprio in is What's Eating Gilbert Grape, but this is before that.
Yeah. So which one did I see him in? Leonardo DiCaprio. Wasn't he in some movie where he was making out with a girl and the beach or something? Or is that something else?
Yeah, that movie's called The Beach. That's a good movie.
Oh, okay.
He was already pretty much a star by then.
I got you. Okay.
He was a pretty big actor by then.
Yeah.
But before we move on, we should talk about the writer of this movie, David Twohy.
Twohy.
I think that's how you say his name. I think that's how you say his name, David Twohy.
Twohy, brother.
So, Twohy. So, David Twohy, this is the first movie that he ever wrote that got made. But he made a bunch of classic movies. If you like B movies or just like movies in general, David Twohy is a hell of a writer. After this, he wrote Warlock.
Okay, nice.
Which we'll end up doing on this show.
Yeah.
He wrote The Fugitive.
Okay. I heard that was
He wrote Water... It is a good movie. He wrote Waterworld.
That's a classic. Waterworld is a classic.
Yes. He wrote a movie and directed it called The Arrival that has Charlie Sheen in it about aliens. It's fantastic. He wrote G.I. Jane. Then he kind of became famous when he wrote and directed Pitch Black with Vin Diesel.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
so he did that. But then he did a movie called Imposter that was really good. He did an underwater horror movie called Below. And my personal favorite of all his movies, he wrote and directed a movie called The Perfect Getaway, which is about these people who go to an island. There's a twist in it, so I'm not going to talk about it much if people want to watch it. But it's got Mila Jovovich and Timothy Oliphant in it.
Yes.
And they about this couple that goes to this island and somebody's trying to kill them. And they meet this other couple, and there's a big plot twist in it that's really good. But he wrote and directed that, so he's written a bunch of really good movies. If you like the kind of movies that we like, he's written a lot of good stuff. A lot of good straight to video movies, but still good nonetheless.
So let's see. A couple other things. About the cast. Obviously, we got Terrence Maine, he's back, brother, on here. The professor over here at North Carolina.
Yeah, Western Carolina University. Yeah,
I'm about to email that guy. Find his email.
Yeah,
I got a bunch
of
questions
email him
for
and
him. All right.
See if he wants to talk about critters.
Yeah, I know. He probably would. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
I want to ask why he doesn't do the horror movie like conventions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people that have like random roles like he does in all these critters movies. I'm pretty sure he could make a pretty hefty penny. You know what
it's really strange. Not to get off the subject, but it's really strange how well some of these people do.
Yeah, really.
Like I know someone who's an actor, and her friend had an extremely small part in The Walking Dead, playing like a cop. She's in more than one scene, but she's like maybe in 2 episodes.
Yeah,
and she does these horror conventions and does fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't believe people would be willing to pay for an autograph for someone who played a police officer in 2 scenes in The Walking Dead. It blows my fucking mind, but they do it, and people do really well at this. Like, you know, I'm sure he would do just fine.
Well, he would probably do better than some, because Critters is like one of those underground kind of movies. You know what I mean?
Right.
That like hardcore fans will pay good money to probably meet people from the movie because it's so underground.
Right.
Like, it's not like the most popular series that are out there in horror movies. You know what I mean?
No, but he's in all of them.
He's in all of them.
He's in all 4 of them. Yeah.
And like, for example, like, I'm a big Hellraiser guy. Obviously, I got the shit hanging up from my wall.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who was under the makeup of Chatter, I think they call it the Chatter one. He's going to be at a horror movie convention. I'm like, what else is you in? Like, I don't know if he's like in anything else. But because he was in a couple of horror movies, like maybe 2, and barely did anything, I even kind of want to meet the guy because that's one of my favorite characters in Hellraiser. You know what I mean?
Right.
But a guy like him who didn't really do that much in the movie, but was a prominent role in all 4 movies, apparently. I mean, it's kind of shocking that we don't see too many people from. I mean, maybe he does. I just haven't seen him lately doing it. Maybe he used to. Maybe he just got bored of it or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, it is something though. Like, people can have such a small little role in a horror movie and just go into conventions, and some niche fan will come up there and pay you a bunch of money to do a bunch of shit.
But the thing too, they got to consider too, is he doesn't need the money. Like a lot of those people do.
Probably
like he's got I'm sure he's making a decent penny being, working at Western Carolina.
Yeah.
And, doing their theatrical stuff, and, he's a Tony nominated actor, and he's won awards, and like, he probably doesn't need the money like a lot of these people do.
Yeah.
The guy that played Chatterer probably needs the money.
So we got a couple other ones on here. I kind of want to talk about the lead character. All right, so we got in this movie the bounty hunter. Like this, I said this last week. This one, okay. The first one didn't name the bounty hunters. They were just bounty hunters. Right. They went to Earth. The Ogla one or whatever found his spirit animal in Johnny. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, and that's why he turned into him. But the other one was struggling. Like, his first one was like a dead cop that he loved so much. But in this movie, same thing, kind of. So Ugla is still the Johnny guy, the rock star, because it called to him. So he kind of stays for most of the movie being the Johnny character. But Lee kind of goes back and forth. And Lee, I guess when he went to Earth, Charlie found the Playboy that was thrown out of the car by our 1980s bad boy. Okay, on here. Right. And I guess the lead character was trying to find what personality calls to him. So that's when it became to be the Playboy model that was on the Playboy magazine at the time.
Yeah, that was really weird, but also kind of cool.
So funny part about that was, I got on my little notes here. The Playboy magazine Charlie finds is the issue from March. I like how people are so nerdy that they needed to fucking research what Playboy magazine this was.
Of course.
And write it down for some dickwad like me to say it on a podcast. I love it. This is why we do the show. Yes. Okay, this is why we do the show with these facts, brothers. Okay.
It is. This is exactly how we have these facts. Yeah.
So it's the if anybody want, this is a collector's item now, brother. It's in a movie.
Oh, I guarantee it is.
Right?
I guarantee it is.
It's the March 1979 issue of Playboy magazine. It is shown that the female from Lee is the centerfold of the issue. Okay. However, the actress that played the female Lee, which was Roxana Corhan, all right, was never in Playboy magazine. Okay.
Okay.
So
wait, you said 1979?
Yeah, this is the 1979 March issue.
Okay. Weird. That's really old.
Exactly.
Even in this time, it's 10 years old.
Your boy Mike had a bunch of old Playboy. You don't want them new shit, brother. He want the 70s ones. That's when they sold full bush. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
We want full bush, brother. We don't want no half bush. Okay. So, but Roxana did appear in the video Playboy Sexy Lingerie a year after she made this film. Okay.
Okay.
So the centerfold that was actually in the issue was named Denise McConnell. All right. So that's a little facts for everybody out there. Now, the sad part about this film, and I always hate to hear this. Oh, this is sad. The actress who played Lee, the transformed into the bounty hunter, Roxana Corhan.
Yeah.
2 years after this film was released, she tragically died in a car accident.
That's true.
And she was only 32, so that's fucking horrible. So, so that one upset me a lot. But yeah, so that's the little facts about the her character and what happened and stuff like that. You know, apparently, I guess she was. It's kind of seemed like someone that like the career was kind of like on a rise until the tragic accident kind of happened. So, so Critters 2 is also the only horror film under the Playboy Enterprise title. But you didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that. So so Playboy helped produce this.
I guess it was under Playboy Enterprise's title. Maybe because of the play. I have no idea. Maybe to get some extra funding, I guess. The film is included in the film. Well, who cares about this fucking guy? The film is included on the film critic Robert Ebert's most hated list. But,
that doesn't surprise me.
But apparently, though, when I was doing some research about it, apparently Roger Ebert, he loved the first movie. Like he was a big fan of the first movie. But he kind of like said this one was kind of like, you know, a little bit of, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I don't really agree with this guy's opinion too much. It seems like he always has it out for horror movies. But his opinion isn't like super wrong when it comes to this one, because this one definitely didn't have like the fun magic as the first one did, I would say. This one was a little bit more cartoonish, I would say, in a way. It was more like it's more like a cartoonish Gremlins in a way. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, there's another funny one on here too. I didn't see this, but apparently they were saying there was like a Freddy Krueger cutout. Did you see that? I might have missed it.
No, I didn't see that, but that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, obviously, you know, because it's made by New Line. Cardboard cutout of Freddy Krueger appears in the film. Both Critters 2 and The Nightmare on Elm Street are New Line cinema properties. The film was executive producers Robert Shea, the co-founder of New Line Cinema. It was produced by Robert Shea, yeah, the co-line. Okay. Let's see. The set of the Groover's Corners was built near Santa Clara and struck down and destroyed after filming. It bears a resemblance to the house and Leprechaun, but they are unrelated.
Oh, wow. So it just looked like the house.
Speaking of Leprechaun.
No.
One of Alison's most hated reviews of all time.
No.
Our first ever Lights Out.
That's true.
Brother, you all have to go back in the archives and listen to that show. That was a fantastic show because I'm a huge Leprechaun fan, and Alison hates everything about the movie.
I hate it. I hate everything about it. The movie's fucking horrible.
It was up to me.
The show was good.
We would have done every single Leprechaun, and I would have forced you to watch Leprechaun in the Hood.
Jesus, Leprechaun in the Hood. I could probably be talked into watching the one where he goes into outer space. Leprechaun in Space, or whatever it's called.
You know, now that we're incorporating first of all, I gotta say this, brother.
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel the beer a little bit. People like it when I do this, bro. These '90s movies. I mean, my God, there's so many fucking sequels. I could not believe it, bro. It's like the decade of sequels.
It is. It's all sequels.
Everything is a fucking sequel. Like there's a couple original ones that would be cool when we add them in and stuff. But my God, there's a bunch of sequels. I could not believe it, man. I was like, damn. You go through the list and shit. It's like half the fuck. And there's like movies in the 90s that I was like, that's a 90s movie? That's crazy. So, well, we'll get there when we get there. But everybody, that's some fun stuff about Critters 2, the main course. But I say let's get into it. Let's get into the full breakdown of Critters 2, the main course. Let's do it.
Grover's Bend. It's just a speck on the map of the universe.
Transform.
They get a different class of tourist here.
Company's coming.
Noisier. Pushier. They're turning this peaceful little town into dinner. Critters 2.
I can't hear you. Everybody out there, hear me.
We need a sheriff.
Go check the elevator.
Those hungry hairballs from outer space are on a roll.
Let's just get help. Oh, who are we going to call? Critter Busters? These guys are great.
And they'll eat anything.
We're going to end up tomorrow's leftovers.
There must be hundreds of them.
Critters 2, the main course.
You got nothing to lose but your lives.
So we start off kind of like we did in the first movie where we're in outer space.
Similar. Mm-hmm.
We are with the bounty hunters, Og and Lee, and Lee, and Charlie. He's there. Remember in the first movie, Charlie. I thought it was a joke, but Charlie's like, "Hey, you take me along. I could change your oil and shit." And I thought they were just gonna be like, "Get the hell away from us, Mark." But they actually But they didn't. They actually took him to outer space. Guess they liked his arms.
Yeah.
So they're on a planet. And you know how the first one kind of reminded me of Star Wars,
Right?
like this one was more like it was trying to be like Alien. You know what I mean? Like this dark, disgusting world and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and they're fighting some creatures out there, and they're searching for a vicious worm creature. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And after they killed the worm-looking creature thing, they go away from the planet, and then they get a call from the head of the High Council, Zeta, which definitely does the old Star Wars hologram thing.
Yeah, that was cool. I really like how
that.
they do the space stuff in these movies.
Yeah,
I think it looks kind of cool.
I would tell you, bro, 1980s/90s like B space stuff has to be some of the coolest like shit out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's just something cool about the way physical models look.
Yeah, exactly.
Being filmed.
Because like the way they do space, it might look a little bit more realistic kind of nowadays, but it also looks cheesy as shit when they put all that CGI and shit in there.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it looks realistic even.
Yeah.
It looks you can tell like a model is a physical thing, like it's really there. Just like when we compare like the special effects from An American Werewolf in London to like werewolves today. Like you can tell that it's a real thing and it's there and it's just better.
I think the only show that I really liked the CGI effects to their sci-fi show was this series called The Lex. Have you ever seen The Lex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show. It's like around the Farscape time, right?
Yeah, Farscape. Yeah. So this one had like very cheap look. It was probably high end for the time, but nowadays it has like all this cheap CGI shit. But it went with the tone of the show pretty well. So I could do a whole show on that Lex show, man. I love that show. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sci-fi stuff is always fun. Every time we get to do sci-fi, that's why we do sci-fi months sometimes, because I think every like sci-fi 80s, 90s stuff is pretty fun. So
I love that stuff too.
So they get a task from the head of the council, Zeta, saying that they have found that there's some krites. Remember, they're critters. For Bradley's
krites. Yeah.
Bradley is the one that called them critters. But they're actually krites over here.
Yeah.
And they said there's some been detected on Earth and they had to go destroy them once and for all. And they're like, well, fuck, I thought we destroyed them all. But obviously we saw in the first movie that those eggs were left behind.
Right.
Okay. So they all agree to go to Earth. And Charlie is kind of like moping around a little bit because he doesn't want to go back to Earth because on Earth he was some drunk redneck and up space he means something. He has purpose.
Yeah, I mean... I think that makes sense. Like, why would he want to go back to Earth?
And he thought, like, if they went back to Earth, like, the bounty hunters would leave him. But they kind of said, like, no, don't worry about it. You'll still be part of us. Okay?
Mm.
So now we're back on Earth. We have a returning character from the first movie, Brad. Kind of like the main kid character for the first movie. You know, that guy who was on the Oracle later on in life. Great show.
Right.
He is back, but we don't get anybody from his family. The dad, we don't get the fucking, the 80s mom, she's not back. We don't get the dad, we don't get the sister. They live in Kansas now. But Brad is coming back to the town of Grover's Bend to visit his grandparents. All right? So that's a pretty good way to distance yourself from the people from the first movie. All right?
Yeah.
So, apparently, this is the story. All right? So when that incident happened of the critters in the first movie, Brad has a young kid told everybody of the town and everybody what happened. And just like every 1980s town, they all didn't believe him. He's just crazy.
Right.
And
that's how it always works.
The sheriff even backed, by the way, the sheriff is played by a different actor in this movie compared to the first one. Okay. He's played by, let me get his name on here. Barry Corbin, all right, who was known for, you ever seen Morris Minefield on Northern Exposure?
I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with it. But yeah, he's a fairly famous actor, I would say.
I thought he did great in this movie. He played a great Southern cop who was pissed off at everything, which I enjoy. All right, we'll get to him though. But basically, with his character, okay, the sheriff at this time, Sheriff Harv, they dismissed him because they thought he was crazy too because of the critter story. Because he was backing up Bradley's claims, and basically the town was like, they're crazy people. Okay, so Bradley's coming back now, okay, and so he's coming back, okay, and he basically is kind of like well known about around the town, okay, for being like the crazy critter guy, okay.
Right.
So there's also during this time there's a guy named Mr. Quigley, okay. He's selling strange eggs to Bradley's grandmother, okay, because he was convinced by the town jock, all right, which his name is Wesley. All right. Let me see over here. Yeah, we're gonna go with Wesley. He was the guy in like the Fonz guy, you know, in the leather jacket. He found the eggs at a barn and he sold them to Mr. Quigley, saying like they're very European. And they're going back and forth. There's a little comedy and stuff. They're going back and forth, but eventually Quigley basically gives him he gets 2 packs of beer plus he gets a Playboy magazine for his eggs. All right. And now the Quigley guy is selling the eggs to Bradley's grandmother because it's Easter. Now, Allison, I got a question for you here.
Okay, I was gonna have a question right back, but all right, very good.
If a movie is set around Easter, and has Easter church ceremonies, Easter eggs, Easter bunnies, and Easter music, is it an Easter movie?
It is. I was going to ask you the same thing, but yeah, I feel like it is an Easter movie.
I felt like since we set the presents. What do you call it? Set the presents for Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Yeah, this is an Easter movie.
I say any movie that has a holiday attached to it is now that holiday's movie. Okay.
Yep, I agree.
So now just imagine this, every Easter, guys, you can hear the Retro Blood talk all about this Easter movie, Critters 2.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Basically, Bradley's grandma is gonna have, like, at the church and stuff. She's collecting the eggs for everybody, and I like it where she's like, "Oh, these eggs look really cool and stuff," and the cookie guy's like, "Yeah, it's European." I like it. Obviously, they're critter eggs. Okay. Let's see. So after selling the eggs and stuff, quickly leaves the rest of the critter eggs to the furnace, which causes them to start to hatch. Okay. So we can see that fire gets the eggs to hatch. Okay.
When they warm up, yes.
Yeah, when they warm up, yeah. So now we have the next day, Mr. Quigley comes back to his shed. He finds the eggs in pieces, and now his dog is dead. Okay. The newly hatched baby critters then appear to attack Quigley and kill him. So there he goes, brother. Out of here. All right. Later, one of the critter eggs bought by Brad's grandmother hatches and the critter inside attempts to bite a young girl. However, it soon stepped on. I like that part. Like, one of the eggs was, like, given to some random young girl on here, and it was literally about to hatch right when she was going to wake up, and the dad just steps on it. He's like, oh, shit, my bad. He just saved her from an attack there.
Exactly.
All right. So after all this, the town celebrates Easter in the church, where the crate eggs are put into a garden for the kids to hunt for. All right. So also too, during this, we start meeting different characters around here. Okay. So one of the characters that we meet is Megan Morgan. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we have Mr. Morgan, okay, and we have the I believe it's the daughter, okay, or it could be Cindy. Yeah, I think it's Cindy. All right, so this family is kind of like the news reporter family. All right, like they do like news reporters and shit. So Megan Morgan wanted to go out and interview Bradley about the creature shit. But the town was basically saying, like, nah, we don't, like, the husband's like, don't beat that horse. We don't want to talk to this crazy guy.
Right.
Then she goes talks to the sheriff. The sheriff doesn't want to have anything to do with her either. Okay. She doesn't really do a whole lot in the film, but she does show up. She's like the redhead. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now Cindy becomes the I guess the love interest basically to Bradley.
Brad, yeah.
Because basically they're in a class together. The Wesley guy is being like dude bro to the Sydney girl, all right, and basically Bradley's the one who stood up to him. He pushes him down and everything, and ever since then they kind of got a connection together. Bradley and Sydney do, okay. And so during all this stuff, obviously the town is preparing for Easter, okay. So we see a bunch of scenes at church, all right. We see a bunch of scenes of the kids like painting the eggs, all right, and then one of my favorite parts is so they have a new sheriff of the town, right? Not the old sheriff was my favorite character, but they have a new sheriff guy, and the new sheriff goes like, "What am I doing here, brother? They ain't paying me by the hour."
No.
All right, and the church guy's like, "Bro, just put the outfit on. The kids will love it." So he's like, okay. So he puts the Easter Bunny outfit on. All right. He walks out into the garden, and then he gets attacked by the first critter who hatched from the garden. And they went inside his suit and everything and started to basically tear him up from the inside. We don't really see it.
That was awesome.
It's made for more comedy, which is funny to me because I thought this director guy wanted to make it more scary, which is not at all. This movie is not scary at all.
No, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
So then, after that tragic stuff happened, the town they find the dead sheriff in the bunny costume, okay, and now the town's like, well, maybe some wild accident happened, like some garden tool killed him, You know what I mean? Like he had like a garden accident. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, like he was killed by a garden tool. Sure.
And of course, Sidney at this time is like, I don't believe that at all. And Brad though, since he had that traumatic experience with the town, like shunning him, basically, he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? I don't think it's those critters at all. I was just making that shit up because I was a kid. Because he's in that denial phase right now.
Yes.
Okay. So they killed the sheriff, and they, like I said, they counted as a farming accident. Okay, so now we have the bounty hunters. They have finally arrived to the Earth. They didn't say where they were coming from, but I guess it took them a couple days to get to Earth.
Took a little while to get there for sure. Yeah. So
they land, and this is when Charlie is reading the Playboy. He gets caught by the two bounty hunters. He's all like, "Oh, don't worry about this. This is great American literature. It has great articles in here." All right.
Yeah.
And then Lee starts acting up a little bit. And then like Charlie's like freaked out for a second, so he shows him like the picture of the Playboy going like this. And Lee turns into the centerfold. All right. And this is what we got. Some nice 1980s PG-13 titties, brother.
Yeah.
And I could not believe my eyeballs.
And by the way, Playboy does have some really good articles.
Yeah, didn't they have that?
I mean, I know that's a big joke that people say, but they do have some really good articles. There's some really good writing that has been done for Playboy over the years.
So I'm not familiar with a lot of Playboy articles, but I do believe, this ties into wrestling, I do believe they did an article on Vince McMahon, like in like 1990 something. Like, you know, when the WWF was hot. And I think that's what I think in that article is he was talking, like, it was like the first time he ever talked about his childhood. And that's when he was saying he got abused by his, like, stepdad, I think it was, in there. So that's the only article I remember being from Playboy. But yes, they were known actually for their really good articles at that particular time. Which makes sense. You got some titties and articles and stuff, but anyway, I was like, God damn. I was like, brother, sign me up for this Lee girl. Roxanne, man, she was fucking hot, brother. Take me.
Yes.
All right. But I do like it though. Like the actual Lee bounty hunter guy is kind of funny. He just like picks there's so much stuff that costs to him compared to Og. Og just has one thing that costs him. This guy has everything that costs him. All right. So now I do like it when she was walking down the forest and Charles was like, oh yeah, you probably need to put this on because you're like tits out and asses hanging out and everything. All right.
Wear something, yeah.
Yes. So Brad and my bad, it's Megan. All right. So Brad and Megan are driving down the road when they encounter a woman who tells them that there's something wrong inside in Quigley's shed. Okay. So they go to the shed and Brad knocks on the door and everything. Okay, but when he goes and there's no answer and he attempts to get back into the car, but the door slams open and Mr. Quigley's mutilated body falls on him. All right.
Yep.
So now we have some full-grown critters.
I know. Finally, they come into this movie a little bit quicker this time.
Yeah, they do actually. Well, I guess they wanted to show more of them. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Plus, they're not a big surprise now. We knew what they were like the first time.
So they start attacking the car. Megan and Brad and this woman escape, and the critters take advantage towards the town. All right. So the critters make their way into the town. They start terrorizing the town in larger numbers than we saw in the first one. And this is when we see a scene of the critters going into a buffet. And brother, if you would have ripped off a scene from Gremlins, this is the one right here. All right.
Yeah, I was about to say this is exactly like a scene from Gremlins.
Yeah. They're basically doing the laughing like it. So apparently these Krites are supposed to be like meat lovers, like they love meat, even though they were like eating lettuce and all kinds of shit. All right. But they're around this buffet. We're doing a bunch of gags, like where one like falls into the fryer. All right. Like there's a couple of gags when it's on here. And then the two bounty hunters come in there, they stare him on the whole time. And eventually they start open fire to him a little bit. All right. Now, after they were done opening fire to the buffet of critters, they walk outside, and some nerdy guy comes up to the hot model Lee one, and it was all like, who's gonna pay for this? And then Lee untransformed from a hot blonde into some nerd. Yeah. And then the nerd's guy's like, what's going on here? And I was like,
why?
I'm going to turn off the movie now. You done pissed me out, brother.
Like, why would you turn from... Right. She does come back. But why would you turn from the hot blonde into the nerd?
So now it's the nerd guy. And now they're walking around, you know, Lee and Olga are walking around town. It's like nighttime now. They separated. Okay. And Lee now is about to, I believe Lee is about to turn into Rambo.
Okay.
Because remember, like, he was like out in the alley, and Charlie finds Lee, like, you know, bulging out again. Because every time they bulg out, they transform. And it was like a poster of, he was like going to wig out on the poster of the wall. And I believe the poster on the wall was Rambo. All right. But Charlie did not want him to be Rambo. So while he was transforming, he put the Playboy magazine again, and then it would turn into the girl. All right.
Yeah, because I guess he turns into whatever he looks like, whatever he looks at, apparently.
But so now we have the only creepy part of the whole film, where right after Lee transformed into the Playboy model, all right, like almost right afterwards, the critters attack him out of nowhere, like a sneak attack, and they start biting his arm and everything. So there goes Lee. He's all dead. So I thought that part was cool. I didn't see that coming. So Lee character is supposedly dead. All right. So now we have the old character who's still played by John. All right. Sees the dead Lee and puts out a horrifying scream, and then returns back to its natural bounty hunter state. All right.
Yes.
So during all this stuff, now the townspeople decide to go to the one place they'll be safe, the church.
Yeah, that never works out the way they think it will.
It definitely didn't work out in the season 3, or was it season 4 of The Walking Dead? No.
No, I probably stopped watching it by then. But
y'all know, you know. If y'all my Walking Dead
friends, now I know.
Gabriel's church, brother. It didn't work out that way. So basically they're all in the church now, right? And they're trying to come up with a plan together to figure out how to beat these critters out here, okay? So the first part I liked was a couple things. All right, so there was one part where Megan and Bradley, they go to the old sheriff, Harvey. All right. And they're like, hey, I think we got some of these critter things attacking us and shit. Like, you're going to help out? And, bro, this guy was the most southern cop ever. He started doing these metaphors and shit. He was all like, listen, if it ain't going to be fucking yellow critters and stuff, it's going to be between my ass. All right. He was just saying all kinds of random shit.
That was kind of weird. Yes, I agree.
All right. And then he's like, you guys should do what I'm going to do and get out of this town. He's like, aren't you going to help? He's like, no, I'm not going to help. This town threw me out as a sheriff so they could all kiss my ass.
Yep.
All right. And of course, he comes back later on as a hero. But the first scene when they're talking to him, I thought it was pretty funny.
Right, because they voted him out, so he doesn't have any interest in like helping them now.
So there was
which
a scene,
is fair.
Yeah, there was a scene where one of the Krites were going to attack the townsfolk, Bradley and stuff, but then he comes back and he shoots him, and he's all like, I'm back. All right. So now they're all in the church.
Yeah.
Right? We had this other redneck dude in the plaid. He's like, you know what? This town was doing okay until Bradley came around here. How come?
It must be all Bradley's fault.
How come Bradley came into my town, all right, talking this critter nonsense, and then you leave, everything's fine and hunky-dory, but then when you come back, brother, all them critters come back.
Because he must have brought the critters back, right? That's the logical assumption here.
This guy was awesome.
Like, yeah,
he was cracking me up. Like, oh yeah, thanks. And then they're like, "Shut the hell up, Fred." All right. And I'm like, "All right, okay, my bad." So then Bradley comes up with a plan saying like, hey, these things look like they like meat. Doesn't mean it has to be human meat. It could be whatever meat. How about we go to the old meat factory that's randomly a part of our town that we have here?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we lure them in there and blow the shit up? And everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And I'm like, you gonna blow up the meat factory? Come on, brother. I got a 9 to 5 job over there.
You just imagine all the people that are going to put out of work by blowing up the meat factory.
I'm union,
because they make
brother.
meat there. They make meat there.
I'm union, brother. You're gonna hear from my union rep about that one, brother.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely. You're damn right.
Bro, if that guy in the plaid would have said that, I would have fucking died. I would have fucking died. That would have been so
awesome. You can't blow up meat factory to kill the critters because the union says you can't.
Yeah. Let me go talk to my union rep. Make sure we can do this plan because if I get my salary, it's all good, brother. But if not, you got to cut that shit off.
No, right? you gotta kill him somewhere else.
All right, so we have a whole montage of them setting. Okay, I never been to a meat factory before, Allison.
Me neither.
But they had more than meat at this meat factory.
There
was like hot dogs. Sorry, there was buns. There was like lettuce.
Buns. Yeah, well, you need buns for the hot
My
dog.
favorite is when they opened up the containers that just had raw meat, looked like it came from Taco Bell, and they just put the dynamite in there.
That was great.
Yeah, I like that.
Fantastic.
So we had this whole montage of everybody doing the trap. You know what I mean there? So now it's time to lure the critters in there. Okay. And basically Bradley is like, it was my idea to do this meat factory thing, but I'm going to need some help. Eventually nobody's going to help him, but then Charlie agrees to help. And then when Charlie agrees, Megan agrees. And then the Fonzie dude eventually agrees as too. All right. So now people are starting to help out. The cowards that we saw, the mean people we saw are now starting to step up to save the town.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
We do the montage stuff. Now they're trying to lure in the Krites to the factory. And first it goes pretty well. All right. They get them all over there. And you can see like there's a lot more in this film than there was in the other one. So they're all like in big rows coming together. And apparently they didn't talk as much in this film as they did the other one. But they did talk to each other saying, oh, wait a minute. Why? Let's go here. There's living meat over here. Okay. So they see the townspeople kind of watching them and they want to go to the townspeople because that's living meat compared to dead meat. Even though one of them really wanted hamburgers.
That's true. Which is very Gremlins-like, where there's the one that wants to do something different.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, fresh meat is always better than meat from the meat factory, whatever the fuck. It's like Spam or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always better than the meat from the meat factory for sure.
So then they're about to attack, but one of them, who's a lot bigger than the other Krites are, convinced them all to go to the actual factory. Okay? So they all revert before they're going to attack the townspeople. So they get them all into the factory, right? And Bradley sees all this stuff. They eventually see Bradley and stuff trying to lock the door, but then they attack him a little bit, but then they knock one down, the sheriff does, and then they knock the door on one of them and smashes it up. So they lock them all into the meat factory now, okay? And it is come to our attention that the odd-shaped critter was actually Og, the bounty hunter.
Yes.
So this movie proves that not only can they change their faces, but they can change their shape too if they please. We got some critters lore in number 2, brother.
Yeah, that was interesting. Like that's a twist.
Yeah.
It's a difference for us, yeah.
All right, so now they lead them all to the burger factory and then they blow it up. There goes all the meat. There goes your 9 to 5 union job. It's gone now.
I know. It's gone. You're going to be homeless if they don't build another meat factory.
And guess what? The fucking plan failed.
Yeah, it doesn't even kill the critters.
Because the critters became an Indiana Jones towering ball.
Right.
All right. So now they're up in a ball.
Yeah.
And they run through town. The cool scene with that one was when they ran over that one guy, they skinned him alive. That was cool.
That was kind of cool. Yes.
All right.
I agree.
So they're running into the whole town and everything. All right. And Charlie, who ran away earlier and did basically nothing, he now grew a set of balls, brother. And he grabbed the spaceship. All right. And right before the Indiana Jones towering ball of doom of critters is about to kill some of the townspeople, Charlie flies the plane into the critters, supposedly sacrificing himself and destroying them. All right. And then the whole town is happy but sad at this time because Charlie sacrificed himself. He was the town drunk when he last left the first movie. Now he's a hero. He's such a hero that Og takes Charlie's face to remember him by.
Yeah.
We have the next day.
Commemorative.
Brad is still trying to kiss Megan. He tries like 5 times this movie. It doesn't work out because people are cock blocking him. All right.
Absolutely.
It was then, because we had to save face, Charlie comes out of nowhere saying, "Hey, can somebody take this parachute off me?" Yeah. Everybody is happy. The sheriff says, "Get on with it, Bradley. Kiss that girl." Bradley finally kisses the girl. The Og's going to leave by himself, but the sheriff gives the sheriff badge to Charlie, and now Charlie is the new sheriff in Grover's Bend. And that's how we end this film. So you think Charlie's going to be... I heard he's in all of them, so maybe he'll be the cop in the third one.
Maybe. So maybe, he got away from being the drunk redneck, and he's going to be the sheriff of the town now. So, maybe he came from nothing to become somebody.
There you go. And that ends Critters 2, the main course. Not a bad movie. Not a great movie.
Not bad. Yeah, I mean, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was like a fun, like that's what it reminded me of, bro. It reminded me of like those like 80s, 90s like kid horror films, but then it had like random tits in there. It's very strange. But that's what it reminded me of. Something like that. So, but everybody, hope you all are enjoying this. Because we are going to be coming back and doing something that we have never done before.
A 90s movie.
We are doing a 90s movie on the Retro Blood. Not a Lights Out, not a special. We're doing a 90s one on the Retro Blood for the first time ever. And boy, who knows what we even just picked here. We have Leonardo DiCaprio's film debut. I have known nothing about this film, so I don't know if it sucks or not. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it.
I've definitely never seen this.
Yes. So I am excited though about talking about some 90s metal and wrestling though. That should be really fun. So
yeah.
And we got some really fun stuff planned out for next month too. That I'm going to be going over with Alison here in a bit too. It's going to be pretty fun for everybody. But Alison, to get on out of here, what Poison song are we, boy? First of all, why didn't we get a cool 80s song in this movie? That's what it was missing, brother.
I know. It was really weird that they didn't give us a song.
Now, we're going to have to add one. We're going to add one, and we're going to add Poison to this movie, brother, to make it that much cooler like the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just imagine, like, if, as Charlie's parachute was coming down.
Yeah.
It just started playing Nothing But a Good Time by Poison.
Exactly. That's what we're playing, brother. Nothing but a good time.
That's what we're playing. Exactly.
This one definitely could have used like an 80s hair band in it. You know what I mean? To be a little more fun. You know, the music just was kind of like generic in this one.
They probably didn't have the budget for that.
They probably didn't have it though.
Not really.
So, but everybody, we will see you here next week for Critters 3.
Yeah.
J.H. Alison, James Kline. We'll see y'all later.
See you guys.